very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. Up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
Very special day, is it? It is a finally fantastic, maybe just a little freaky Friday, beautiful day, and that means my partner this morning, my co-host, is Holly Thompson with Salem Crossing. Good morning, Holly.
Good morning.
Happy Friday!
Yay!
Happy Friday! Yay! I don't want to say anything, but we do have real quick. I do want to say this is a paid political program brought to us with Chris Strange for Washington County Sheriff. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
I do want to say, and the Happy May Day.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Now, I thought, and I don't want to, I know this might be a little bit, but I thought I saw a little bit of sprinkles on my windshield this morning.
I did have a little bit of sprinkles.
I was like, no, you don't. Oh, no.
I saw last night at midnight on my phone, it shows Salem, and it said possible rain tomorrow. I was like, oh, no.
No, not today, Batman, not today,
That's
right? Yeah, but anyway, that's okay. We'll take it. Whatever. We're used to this. We're accustomed.
That's
right.
right.
We just have to change our sails a little bit. but anyway, I just wondered if I was the only one that saw that. Well, I kept thinking that, like, maybe a bug or something.
It was just very light.
Yeah.
Wasn't very much.
Yeah. Definitely. So, all right, happy May Day. And now, is this May Day? Remember, okay, let's go back many, many years ago. They would take the pole and they would go around the maypole and go. And if you went to Brady Shrum Elementary School, you would have done that.
Right. We did.
Is it called the maypole dance or what?
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
It's got a whole new meaning this day and age.
That's right.
But years ago, it was so much fun, and you had you would connect at the top, and you had to weave. So like you had to go under, you had to go over. Remember that? And then as the music played, it was so much fun. And then you would weave it all together. That was cool.
Well, I didn't realize that, Becky, because I thought you were so much younger than me.
That's right. Yeah, Chris, keep talking. You keep your little charmer over there. That's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. Were they still doing it when you were to school?
We actually went to high school together. She was one grade ahead of me.
Listen to that. Yeah. But yes, we did, and what fun years and great time. But I definitely remember every May Day. I always remember that, just going through and doing that. And I remember thinking, I don't want to be the one that messes this up.
No.
I don't want to be the one, Martin.
It's like jump rope. You don't want to be the one that stops that rope.
Exactly. So anyway, happy May Day. May is supposed to be a month of kind of renewal. Of course, this is when we can start kind of planting our plants. I've seen a lot of farmers trying to get the crops in,
April showers bring May flowers.
Absolutely.
And if you notice, all over town, I think some of my signs are sprouting. Have you seen those orange things come out all the time?
I have.
They may be full-grown they may actually be full-grown signs by the end of the
I
year.
love it. Yeah, the
No,
spring
it's actually
flowers.
it's actually the fiber optics that they're putting in all over town. Those orange tubes.
Those
Yes.
orange tubes,
Yes.
but it does
Yes.
go with your. It goes with your
does.
sign.
It does.
And, you know, and
I
strange
can
for
say that
change.
It's a
So
little, it's a little sprout of my.
I love that. Yeah, and your slogan "Strange for Change," and you know,
Yes.
with that, you know, definitely May's going to be a big change. You know,
And,
as far as
that's
getting
not
ready.
that's not just a slogan for me. That's something that I plan on bringing new leadership to the Washington County Sheriff's Department. That doesn't mean that what's going on with the administration now is terrible. It doesn't mean anything like that. It's just, if I get to be sheriff, I need to do it my way, and I have been trained to do that. I have a master's degree in business management. I've got 30 years of law enforcement experience, and all of my training. I'm just the most qualified candidate, and I'm not trying to be I'm not being standoffish. I'm not being anything. I'm just telling it the way it is.
Absolutely. Well, you have to. You have to tell. You know, tell about yourself, and we're gonna jump in on that one. But before we do, Chris, you and I attended, and Holly, I wish you would have been there too. The FOP dinner last night. How wonderful was that?
It was great. We had a good turnout last night, and they really did a great job with the steaks and
I think
things.
they fixed 125 steaks.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No, I know. And these were not just steaks. These were big teeth. They looked like Fred Flintstone.
Well, you know, ever since I was the president of the FOP for several years, I always went last. I waited till the last to make sure that everybody ate, that sort of thing. Because, you know, if we sold out, I didn't feel like, and there were several of us that did that. It wasn't just me. It was, you know, the secretary, you know, my little brother cooks the steaks and has been doing that for 25 years, and he learned to do some of that over at Scottsburg at the FOP steak dinner when he worked for Scottsburg years and years ago. So that's really
He was
dating
trained
us.
well.
Yes, yes, he was.
Yeah.
He does a great job.
Yeah.
But I waited till the end, and myself and my Uncle
I did
Mark,
see you do. I saw you do that. I saw you do that last night. I
Yeah.
kept thinking, are you going to go get a food?
Yeah, well, that's why. And
Aw.
so anyway, we didn't get forks and things because we had to use the plastic ones, and it was a little harder with the
And those
steak.
were pink. I saw pink. They had pink plastic.
Yeah.
I thought, is this what we come down
Hey,
to?
we used whatever we
I loved
could
it.
to make
No,
it work.
it looked like
Use
what
your resources wisely.
Absolutely.
That's
Well, and you know they had the real steak knives, but it was so good. I mean, you didn't really need much of a knife. The steaks were delicious.
Does he marinate them?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
he romances
that.
them, yeah.
That process starts early in the morning, and
Yeah.
I mean, when he does that, he does it all day. It's a long day for him.
Yeah, he does, and that was very much a blessing for us because it paid off. It was so good, but yeah, he does. He told me the way he does it, and he said he wouldn't tell me all the ingredients because he said there's some secret, you know, spices there. But
secrets.
There are.
Yeah.
he did say that he like all day long, and yeah, so he did a fantastic job, and it was a fun night. It was a fun group. And it was a really nice night. And what I loved about it, we were there, we got to talk, we ate, and then talked a little bit more, gave out some raffles, and then we went home.
Yeah,
that's
right. That's right.
I was like, bingo, I like this, you know what I mean? I love that.
It wasn't quite dark when I left.
I know.
I was one of the last ones out there.
Yeah. No, I like that. You know what I mean? Because sometimes things can go.
They were just finishing up putting things away, and I went ahead and I got my dad. He went out to his car and things, and I went out there and made sure he'd gotten squared away because, he uses a walker, and sometimes it makes it a little tougher for him to get there.
Yep.
So
right now, and then mushrooms. We had mushrooms with the steak.
Oh.
yeah,
Holly,
yeah.
this kicked it up a notch. These
Part
guys
of those
came.
trade
They did.
secrets.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, they understood the assignment. Yeah. So yeah, I did compliment your brother, and everybody that I sat with was just going over wonderful. I wish he'd have heard all of the compliments about that steak.
Yeah.
So that was.
We had a Tom Roberts was there. I don't know if you know him or saw him, but
Sure.
he worked at GKN for 46 years. He is brother Master Mason with me. He's from Salem Lodge, but he told me that he's been attending for 58 years and he's missed 2 dinners.
Oh wow, that's
Wow.
that's a record.
Dedication right there.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, we should have had him rate like what year was the best. You know, what year was that one that stood out? You know what I mean?
That's right. That's
Well, I
right.
can't imagine anything better than last night. So it was delicious, and so hats off to that. It was fun. FOP and Federal Order of Police, we need to support, and we love everything they do and all that they do. And I loved seeing everybody come out. That was wonderful.
Yeah,
So
the Fraternal Order of Police, they do a lot of things in the county.
they do.
They run the Shop with the Cop program.
Yeah.
So, they do fundraisers for those things, and that's part of why they do that.
And we'll have another one in the fall.
Yeah.
So definitely be.
If you join as an associate member, you get, I don't know, I think it's $25. I think it's what we paid last time. I don't know. But I think it's $25, but it's associate member. You get 2 steak dinners a year, so you can't buy a steak dinner.
Well, that pays for that $25.
Yeah, no. These were Fred Flintstone
Flintstone.
steak. I mean, yeah, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and you can't get that kind of steak and that taste at any of the big chain restaurants that are steakhouses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was really good. And baked potato.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, I'm telling you, chef kiss for sure. But anyway, so a fun night for sure on that. All right, we're on to the first day of May. Real quick, let's see what today is. Today is bread pudding recipe exchange day. You like bread pudding, Chris?
Yeah, I've had it.
What about you, Holly?
I love a bread pudding, but I like a sloppy bread pudding. I like a lot of that sauce and moisture and things like that. I don't like a dry bread pudding.
Okay, all right. Couple Appreciation Day. Now we're going to mention Nancy.
There you go.
We're going to make sure we get Nancy in,
That's
okay?
right. she was working last night, so she did not get to attend the dinner.
Yeah.
So.
But we're going to give her a shout out this morning because it's a Couple Appreciation
She's listening,
Day.
I'm sure.
And we're going to mention Chris over here for you.
Okay.
Holly.
Good.
Couple
Good, good,
Appreciation Day. And I'll mention Greg for me. So
Yep.
Couple Appreciation Day, and we just appreciate them.
We
right?
do. We really do.
Exactly.
For sure. This is also Executive Coaching Day. Hats off to all of our coaches out there. It shows a gentleman coaching little ones, and hats off to all those volunteer coaches out there.
Oh, yeah.
And the key word is volunteer.
Uh-huh.
They're volunteers, so we have to remember that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
But they do a great job.
they do. Absolutely. Frequent Flyer Day. Frequent Flyer Day. Okay. I love this. I love you, and it says Global Love Day. Boy, what the world needs now is love, right? We
Yes.
just need a lot of love.
A lot of love.
I just said that
Get rid of the hatred. Bring back in the love.
100%. This morning I said everyone could just give each other grace. You
don't have to agree. You don't have to agree. Like, that's one of the things that makes the world go round is differences of opinion. But you don't have to hate each other for the differences of opinion. You can still love each other and have healthy debates with one another
I agree.
without having to agree.
I used to tell Claude Combs when he and I worked together, and I was working for him and also working out at the park, we would get into healthy debates, and I would say, Claude, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on this.
Yeah.
And he would say, okay, let's go get lunch.
Yeah,
That was the end of
that
that.
sounds right. Yeah, that sounds exactly right. Well, and I think that's true. And I think in everyone, you want the people to be diverse. You don't want the same. And that's how everyone grows from each other. You learn from each other. You take what you feel and you stay true to yourself. But you do you learn from every day is a learning experience. I learn from I love to learn from other people, and I think that's very important, but I think also loving them and respecting them,
Yes.
and also giving that grace too to others,
I have a very good friend of mine. He lives in Indianapolis. He's a Metro police officer, a lieutenant. He has on his arm, on the inside of his upper arm, Kaizen, which is Japanese apparently for lifelong learner. And I really thought that was a great word, because I think that describes me. I've been in school since I was 5 years old,
Uh-huh.
you know.
It's funny you mentioned that because just probably a couple weeks ago I was telling somebody when I started my career as an administrator, the first words that I used, and I used to have like a sheet that I would post in my office, and it was of that word.
Was it really?
It was exactly that word, and I was just telling somebody about that the other day, and I actually still have the sheet in my desk drawer, and I pulled it out and I'm like, see, here it is right here.
Oh, I love that.
Because I'm all about you never stop learning. You
Right.
should always be open to continuously learning. None of us are perfect, and we should be open to continuously learning something new every day.
Well, you know, Dr. Hedrick Jack
Uh-huh.
was a good personal friend of mine.
Absolutely.
And he was still taking classes at IU at, you know, in his 80s. He never quit taking classes. He loved learning, and I, you know, I feel the same way. You know, I think after you turn 65 years old, you can take classes at Ivy Tech for free.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that you say that because my dad, in his 80s and stuff, was still taking lessons. Yeah, still going back to school. My
Yeah.
dad never stopped learning. You
Yeah.
know, he always, and you want to keep your mind
Your dad
working.
was a very intelligent
Yes,
man.
he was. He really
Yes.
was. And so, yeah, he always kept going back, you know, and taking classes and learning. And I have to, you know, that's a tough act to follow, you know, but you got to keep going, you know, and learning from each other. And I think it's a great way. I've never heard this saying before. So this is new to me, and I really like it. I really like it. Yeah. I don't know that I'll get it on my arm, but I'll definitely have it in my head.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a tattoo person either, but that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them.
Yeah,
I
always
am.
got
Are
it.
you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm very fascinated by them.
I've always heard that they hurt. So
They do. They do. Somebody who tells you that they don't, they do.
I would think they would hurt. Yeah, I like to look at them. You know what I mean? They're very interesting for sure. And I love the way the stories that when you know folks that have tattoos, they usually have a story
why they
have that. And I love to
That's
hear
correct.
the stories. I do love to hear that. Those very very fascinating on that. But
That I won't put anything on my body that doesn't have meaning behind it that will stay with me till I no longer have breath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to just put like a Mickey Mouse on there. Mickey, you know what I mean? Like
you don't
it
want a
has to
mermaid
have-
like just
No,
waving or something. Yeah.
Things have to have meaning
Yeah.
behind it
right
for it to
I
be
agree.
that permanent.
I would too. That's what I would do too. This is also International Space Day.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. You
Yeah.
know, they
Yeah.
just went and they saw
They
them.
just went.
Yeah, and did all that, and they said that it was. Did you hear that one lady talking about how everything was so dark, and then it just like you saw the glow of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really fascinating.
Mhm.
I don't want to mess up her words because the way she explains it was just so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fathom the mileage they traveled
No.
in such a short time.
I kind of not gonna lie, it made me nervous because I just
It's
wanted.
scary.
I
It's
know.
so
I just
scary.
wanted it to be safe, and I'm so
Yes.
glad they got back. You know, what I mean, got
Yes.
home and got back safe. You know,
Mhm.
because that's what you
have to
ideally
forge
want.
ahead, but every time it's getting ready to go up, I always worry about
I know.
the accidents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, me too.
'Cause
That's
I
what
remember being in chemistry class in high school when the one accident happened, you know,
Oh.
and so that's like still burned into my brain. But when I was watching the landing this time, I mean, they're coming in so hot, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And to see how the parachutes and everything come out, and it just, like, the landing looks so soft after you're just going
Yeah.
how fast they were going.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
true.
Yeah.
Amazing we can do that stuff.
But I'm happy they got that experience.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I'm so glad that it went wonderful
Mhm.
and went good and got back home.
And I really like that the kids that got to watch it in person, you know, watch the takeoffs and things like that, like the excitement of the kids.
Yeah.
That was good to see that again.
I agree.
You know.
Yeah. Definitely.
Get them excited about space again.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. International Tuba Day. I love a good old tuba. And
I'm
there's-
I always
saxophone
thought
clarinet,
those-
remember?
oh yeah, you are.
I
Yeah.
always thought they would be too heavy to
To do the tuba.
do. I mean, if you were doing marching,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know how heavy it was carrying a saxophone around and standing at attention for hours on end until we get the little details worked out. And the tuba, I felt so sorry for those tuba players.
Remember the
Oh,
big
yeah.
white tubas? You know what I
Yes,
mean? Those are
yes,
like
that's what we.
huge.
Yes, that's what
Yeah,
we used
it's
was the
like-
big white ones.
there is a song I want everybody to Google. I can't play it right now because I don't have the rights to it, but it's a country music song with a tuba, because it's so, in country music you don't usually hear a tuba.
No, you don't.
But it's a really cute song, and it talks about the tuba in country music songs. So it's really
That's
cute.
neat.
So it's really cute. International Workers Day. Chris, you're a worker bee.
Well, I've worked since I was in high school.
There you go.
And I tell people you have to be careful what you ask for, because
That's right.
I told people when I was a lifeguard working with Brad Gilbert that I was going to run that place someday. And 18 years later, I was running the place and thinking, oh my gosh. I said,
what did I?
Give me the reins, give me the reins. And boy. What did I get here?
I didn't know this was a wild horse I was having to hold on to.
And Holly, you're a worker bee too.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are.
Kind of goes with my Capricorn, right?
Yeah.
That's what Capricorns are, worker bees.
Worker bees, and I know I'm a worker bee too, but I like it too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Law Day, and we have to follow the law.
Yes.
Sometimes you stay true and follow the law, and it will work out, even though it might be a little than what you think different.
Mm-hmm.
But just trust it and stay true to the law.
Well, something I've always tried to do from the very first when I became a police officer was I respected people even if they broke the law. They were human. And my goal was, and 96% of the people followed, and I met my goal with, because people would say at the end, hey, thank you for being fair with me, as I was leaving after they were being booked in or whatever. And, obviously we're going to have 3 or 4% that you're not going to be able to please. You can't please everybody.
Sure.
But I had a very high rating in the fact that, hey, you were fair with me. You didn't stack charges on me. You took care of things, even though you had to arrest me.
Right.
So, with that, and I'm sure that there are people out there that will tell you that wasn't the way it was with me. But
there's always the exception.
That's exactly right.
Well, I think that's important, and I think that's got to be, to me, I would think that would be very rewarding to hear someone say that. Yes, I had a bad moment, but
made a bad decision.
Made some bad decisions, but I got myself together, and I'm and I am grateful for that. I think
you have to have people willing to own their mistakes. As long if they are still not owning the mistakes that they've made and they're still defending their decisions, they're not going to see their errors.
30 years later, I screwed up myself, and I told about it in the Times interview that I did, and the whole thing is on the Washington County Times board or interview, and I owned my mistake. I screwed up, but you know what it did? It proved that I was human.
Yeah.
It took care of the fact that we're all human, and I'm gonna own something. If I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. And if I get to be sheriff and I tell my guys to do something and they make a wrong decision because of what I told them, I'm going to back them anyway, because I will own that mistake for them, because that's just how I am. You can't be a good leader if you don't do things like that.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Yeah. And
I think those things are important. And it brings me to some of the talking points that I talked about. But communication, is so important. Not only with your employees, but with the public. I want the public to know that I am being 100% open with them. I want them
I tend
to
to
know.
be harder on myself. When I screw up, I am my own worst critic.
Yes.
And I am hardest on myself more so than anybody else
And
could be.
people don't
and they
realize
don't see that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And
I used to beat myself up all the time over decisions or how I had to handle a situation. As an officer or as a sheriff, when you go out to deal with somebody, you have to have an attitude determines gratitude.
Mhm.
That's just how
yeah.
I look at it.
Mhm.
And if I get out to a situation and somebody is so hot-headed that they can't calm down enough that we can talk about this, then I can't throw that gratitude to them. I have to deal with the problem. So those things are important, and I want the people, I want the employees. I think the jail and the sheriff's department have a great staff. I think that we are going to need to, if I happen to get sheriff on May 5th, I'm still going to be a candidate in the running for the fall, so I won't be the sheriff, but I will be the candidate for the Republican Party if I get that on May 5th. But what I'm getting at is, if I get that, I'm going to lead by example. That's just how I feel that you have to do. And I will never do anything, I will never ask my employees to do anything that I don't or wouldn't do myself. And, you know, that comes back to the fact that people, there's rumors going around, well, if he gets in, he's going to get rid of everybody. Well, first off, you can't do that.
No.
And second off, as a good leader, anybody that's got their head on straight will know you need to keep everybody that you got, because it takes more to train and retrain than it does to just work with everybody and pull together what you have and make things work together.
Right. I think you bring up some good points too, and I think a life in the day of the officer. I've never been an officer, but as we're talking about the sheriff's department, because that's what you're running for.
Yes.
Is Washington County Sheriff. I think you never know what you're going to get into. When you take that call or you go out, and I do want to say dispatch does a fantastic job.
They do.
But they're not, you never know how the I guess the sea is going to change, or the tides are going to turn, or whenever you get to a situation.
Right.
And I think you have to be, I think that's something where experience comes in, where you have to be, you might have one thought in your mind, but have to go a different direction, in whatever subject, I guess, you're dealing with.
Yes.
And that brings in where you have experience and knowledge and people skills too.
Right.
Right? Communication again.
I think it's very important to work with de-escalation type skills. Be able to de-escalate a situation, because when you get to a situation, we don't know what those people have gone through all day that day.
Right.
So you have to have, I call it gratitude. You have to have some kind of understanding that, hey, listen, we don't know what everybody else has gone through.
Right.
I know what I've gone through that day, but I don't know what you guys have gone through, and I'm not going to try to say that I do know what you've gone through. But what I will do is do my best to try to be understanding and try to make things work for people, because tempers flaring and that sort of thing, it really makes it tough.
Well, I think we've got a lot going on, a lot on our plate, this day. And I'm not trying to make excuses, but, we've got a lot of financial, financial can be a huge, upset, just things going on in life, maybe, other causes. And I think that sometimes, people maybe, have a hard time. And I think that when you are, possibly are in that situation, you have to be able to, you're not going to get the full story.
That's correct.
But you're going to get, hopefully, and have enough discernment, or enough, I guess, to realize how to handle that situation.
That's right. That's right. And it's so important to do that, to try to be, at least be understanding with the person that you get there to talk to. I mean, you never, I always tried to get both sides of the story, and you have to figure out what's going on. Or an accident. You get to an accident and somebody has had their bell rung. They may have a concussion or something, and they're walking around out in traffic or whatever, because they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
We don't know what that person's been through, so
Right.
we need to have a little bit of compassion.
Oh, I do think so. Yeah, absolutely.
And I want my officers to, I want them to have compassion for people,
Mhm.
because I think we've lost that.
Yes.
And I think that's an important thing to look at. And while I'm going with that, I started under the John Agin administration, and so I've been under several sheriffs, and I've taken talking points and learning points and things, the best of all these guys that have been before me. John Agin, Claude Combs, 16 years as
Yeah.
a sheriff.
Yeah.
I mean, when we look, if Claude ever expires or leaves or whatever, you're going to lose a lot of know-how, a lot of energy. Roger Newland, Brent Miller. I mean,
All of
these
these are
guys
fantastic.
yeah.
I'm a huge fan of all of them.
And I don't know if you noticed last night, but when we were introducing ourselves as a political candidate, I told those guys I don't have anything against any of these guys. I mean, these guys are all my friends. We started together.
Yeah.
Danny was a little older than the rest of us, but me and Brent Miller and Wayne Blevins, all in the same class. I think Brad may have been a little younger than us. I don't know how. I'm not sure how old Brad is, but my point is, I'm friends with all these guys,
Sure.
and there is nothing going to change just because I become the sheriff of Washington County. What I mean by that is that nothing's going to change is how I feel about these guys. These guys are people that I've known most of my life, most of my professional life, and sure, I'm going to make some changes because I'm going to use the best of all 4 sheriffs that I know to go from there and go up forward.
Well, if you go back to all of those pillars that you mentioned, from John Agin to Clyde Combs to Roger Newland to Brent Miller, every one of them have done it their own way.
They have.
And they've all put their own personal stamp.
That's exactly
And they've
right.
all been successful. They've been wonderful, and I think anybody that steps into any role should, you've got to do it. You're Chris Strange. You've got to do it that way.
I learned when I first took over and took the reins to the park years ago, you're never going to please everybody.
No.
But you still got to do it your way.
Yeah, definitely. And so, and that's very valuable, very important. And also, also today we're doing our Today is Loyalty Day, and how important is that in being the sheriff and having everybody? I mean, loyalty is like huge, isn't it?
Yes, and I want to earn those employees' loyalty.
She won't take the hint. You have to put her down. Sorry. I'm sorry, Chris. Hopefully you're not allergic.
We're dealing with a cat issue here.
Yeah, she yeah.
Up down.
Yeah, there you go.
There
All
you
right,
go.
yeah.
Go on,
Watch her. She doesn't get the hint. I know you want me beside you. But anyway, back to the no, I think it's loyalty is huge, and I think loyalty, especially in with what you're doing,
The loyalty is going to be something that I have to earn with those
well,
employees.
that's true. That's
and with the community.
Absolutely.
There's so many things that it goes back to communication with the public, communication with your employees. I want people to be able to feel free that they can come in and talk to me. That is one of the great things about Claude Combs, when he might rip you for how you handled a situation, but then he would say, "Okay, I'm hungry. Let's go eat," or whatever.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
And that is a great attribute to have. And I want to model that if I can. I want to be able to. You could want to come in and talk to me, you can. And those are sort of things that I really want to try to do to earn the loyalty of the employees and of the public.
Absolutely. Well, I think what you're talking about, when you're talking about, and I've never been a police officer, but I can only imagine, when you step out, and this day and age, security is so valuable, so important, and a lot going on, and I think that I'm not taking away from anything from years ago, officers, but I think this day and age, there's a lot more challenge, or a lot hang on, I shouldn't say a lot more, a lot of different challenges, a lot going on right now in the world.
You know, the state police, and they would probably hate the fact that I'm saying this, but I have a good friend that is in state police, and they had a sergeant resign yesterday. There's a lot of finger pointing going on, saying he's not doing his job, and I'm going to resign my job because I'm not doing that job. I'm going to go back to the road, or I'm going to do this. It's not there though. I talked to my lieutenant friend Mike in Indianapolis, and he says it's statewide.
Sure.
He does
It's
training
probably,
all over the state.
yeah, absolutely.
And he said they are having mass exodus of police officers. And so
surprise.
it's so
well, look at every
hard.
state. I'm sure this is across. This is global.
That's exactly
I mean, think
what
about
Mike
it.
said. He
I would
said
think so.
It's completely becoming global because, the days of, like, I was in for 30 years of, not full time, but I was in some capacity over a 30-year period, and doing that, I enjoyed it. Well, I'm trying to come back to make things better. If I didn't think that I could make the change and make things better, I wouldn't be running for Washington County Sheriff.
Well, and you bring up a good point there because, putting your name in the hat is not easy. We're in a different age. We were talking about like social media, that's a huge thing now. And I actually was listening to he was a performer, but he talked about it's almost like, it's almost like customs. When you put yourself like out on the internet or, on social media or whatever, you're almost like going through customs. Like, did I do everything right?
That's correct.
You know what I mean? Like here, did I, my spelling, did I say it right? Did I do it, whereas if you're talking like right here, you have, like, when you're talking and you're around and you're interacting with people, you don't have that.
Well, and we're all talking
like right
on
now.
A radio show that's live, that's going out to hundreds and thousands of people, and
3 million at any given time.
Well, there you go. Exactly.
Thank you.
At any rate, the fact of the matter is, you need to be transparent with the public.
Right. But talking with someone, if you and I were having coffee, Chris, or Holly and I, let's say all three of us, which we are a coffee club, so we do all have coffee here. Okay, like if you said something and you messed up, let's say that you said a word and said it weird or said it whatever, which I have sometimes words that I say weird sometimes. I will
Which
do that.
I did say Kaizen, right? Correct?
Kaizen.
Kaizen, yeah.
Okay.
That's how I pronounce it, but I never knew if I pronounced it right.
But, okay, so let's say that you didn't, okay? But right now, when we're talking like this, we're giving each other grace. Like how many times, I'm in so many different groups that, like, sometimes people will say something, not say, I'm saying, like, saying it a different way or saying it, a different way. But nobody eats them alive, so to speak, or
That's
nobody
correct.
goes after them. But when you talk about if they were to say that on social media, it would be going back to customs where, is it right? Is it, like how?
Communication is so different nowadays because so many people want to communicate with emails or text messaging or social media apps or whatever. And it's different because you can't communicate face to face and have a back and forth face to face. You don't know the emotion behind it, the context behind it, right?
No.
You don't know any of that, so the communication is different, and it's just, we're just living in a different world than we were 50 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever,
She is so right about, if I say something to you and you're looking at me, you see what context I meant that in. You text that to somebody and they, oh, really? That's what he thought about that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you think they're mad. And
Yeah.
now they're texting you back in capital letters or whatever.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Well, and we talk about that at our house sometimes, our family, like sometimes I have one daughter that she's always like, nobody knows that my tone is not wrong, like when she's texting a friend or something, or my that's why hearing someone's voice, and that's why radio, I'm going to give a plug for radio, that's why it's so good, because people can hear you in your own voice. I'm not taking anything that I'm not taking a written and trying to put it in perspective. Right here, they can hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's where it's valuable, and hear your tone, and hear, if you go to say something funny, I mean, it's not taken out of text or something,
That's correct.
and I think that's where and I think on social media sometimes people are a little bit more not forgiving and maybe a little more judging, if you will, than it would be if we were having coffee sitting there together and you messed up. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah. A lot more judgmental.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting to use customs, like, I mean, how you have to have everything right when you go to customs, and, did I get all this right? Do I do this? Or, going through.
And believe me, if you don't, you're not getting through there.
Yeah, I don't ever want to mess with them either. Yeah, so even though I did want that palm tree, but could not bring that palm tree through customs.
That's
okay? Right. So, yeah, I don't mess with the good old USA. I'm very grateful to be here. So.
Well, some of the things that, getting back to some of the things that I want to bring change to the Sheriff's Department, I've had people contact me, and I've met with families that have lost people in the jail and that sort of thing. But I think that's one of the reasons that I think I'm going to be the better candidate for the job, is because I was very close to a doctorate in healthcare administration years ago, so I kind of understand HIPAA and things, and I think you're going to have to look at some of that as the nurse deals with some of the medical issues of our inmates. I think that they're going to have to make sure that we don't violate their HIPAA issues, and I go back to compliance and training. Those are things that we're going to have to really look at and try to work out, and try to just add training to the people we have there, because they are good people. They're good people. They're good workers. We just may need to add a little wedge here, or there's an old saying in racing, put a wedge in this side and make it a little stiffer so it runs around the corner faster, and that was Days of Thunder when he talked about all that. Tom Cruise. He said, I don't know anything about that. I just know that I could get in the car and I could drive. And so Robert Duvall said, you tell me what's loose, or if it's too tight or whatever, and I'll help you with that. Well, I don't know how to tell you that. So it goes back to being able to communicate, being able to talk about what the issues are and how we can handle the issues. Right.
And Chris, I think, we talked about this, and our own clerk tells us, Stephanie Rocky talks about how, this is the longest job interview that you'll ever have. So you are supposed to talk about yourself and what you'd like to see, and and this is a good time for you to do that. I think that I guess too with the jail though, and going back to that, because you are running for Washington County Sheriff, I think that financial too will be something you're going to have to really, I get that, that in an ideal world there'd be an endless supply, but that's not going to be the case, so you're going to have to really know how to budget. Do you feel
I really worked hard at that when I was at the park, because we had budget issues and that sort of thing, but every time that I would make a penny, they would take two away, or whatever at the time. That's just that kind of, because I more than tripled the income of the place when I went out there over a few years. And I actually had one of the Washington County Commissioners, Jerry Roberts, told me one time, he said, you think you could come to the county highway and do that? Because he was,
what a huge compliment.
He said, man, we that's great that you're doing that, but what happened was, there was actually one time that, there was one year that I only got like $2,800 from the tax base, because I was making money, but I still didn't have enough to cover all the lifeguards and everything, all the services that we offered. People don't realize that, we got into some budgeting issues at the end before I left, because the we were offering so many services that they don't offer there anymore. You know, the lifeguards.
Yeah.
I'm still a big proponent of lifeguards. I think that they should be there. You know, they don't have the restaurant anymore. They don't have the day camp program. I still have people come up to me on the street and say, "You ran the paddle club, and you helped me. You saved my life. You know, my parents both had to work, and I didn't have any place to be during the day, and you took me out to the park, and you took care of my kid," or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, those are huge compliments. And you know, the public doesn't get to see all the things like that come back even 25 years down the road. You know, they just don't get to see that. And I want to be able to help do some of those things again, because I think we need to find some people. One of the things that I really want to deal with the sheriff's department is I want to try to stop that revolving door of people getting out and not having anywhere to go and ending up right back in there. You know, let's help them get a job and teach them a skill or whatever the case may be, and teach them that, you know, after a good day's work, you go home and sleep and get back up in the morning and you got some money in your pocket and let's do it again. And I want to be able to try to do that, to help people. I really think that it's huge for us to be able to deal with our people. And you know, I don't know the exact statistic on it right now, but probably 60%, maybe 70% of the people in the jail have not even been sentenced yet. So, you know, let's treat them like humans and do what we need to do with them, and help them. Try to help them when they get out.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, yeah, I think that's very much needed. Well, we've seen like a lot of cuts, you know, with helping out, like, with addictions, you know,
Yes.
mental, and just like what you're talking about, budgeting with like the lifeguards. You know, you're talking about a lot of money to spend, you know, not to be, but like, let's say that you only had 2 people come in to swim that day, just for whatever reason it was overcast, and you know, but you're still paying lifeguards. You know, I mean, I'm just going over budgeting. It's sad that sometimes money is the reason that this can't be done. You know what I mean? Or the budget you have to cut back.
Well, you know, we used to get.
Is it? I mean, I wasn't on. I don't know. I'm not on the park board, but you know, but I would only imagine. I know, just like running a pool, you know.
Well, even though the park board governs things, we still had to go to the county council.
Sure, absolutely.
And go through the budget hearings and the whole deal. And you know, I still remember some of the line item numbers. I mean, that I had. My lifeguards, I had $30,000 to spend for the summer to make sure that was covered from, you know, 10 in the morning till 6:30 at night, and that sort of thing. And it was a tough job sometimes, getting through the summer and making sure that you had everybody that you needed, because some of those summers in those holidays when we have 3,200 people in the park, and you know, you needed 6 lifeguards down there at the you know, it was hard. That eats up a budget really quick.
That's
that
what I'm saying.
weekend.
Yes, exactly. And you know, and then you might have days where, you know, for whatever reason you didn't have as many, you know, so it kind of, I mean, $30,000 for a whole summer, you know, like what you're talking is you know, that goes through. You probably went through it pretty quick.
I did.
I would think so, because you know
and that goes back to being creative with the budget. I could do that.
Yeah.
And pull from this line item that I knew I could spend on personnel. You know, they said, well, you're driving a new truck. Well, but that's a different area that you pulled from.
A different bucket.
That's right.
Yeah, we have different buckets.
People don't see that sometimes, and those are important things that you got to look at, I think.
Right. Well, and I think, you know, and of course, you know, real quick, you know, you're talking about a lake, you know, you're talking about, or, you know, and you're talking, an area that, you know, every lifeguard had to be on their game.
Yes.
And I thought you did a really good job at making sure that everybody, you know, got a break if they needed it and were taken care of. I do want to give you a big kudos on that, because I did see you firsthand really taking care of your people. And I think that's, as a leader, I think that's one of the number one things, taking care of your people.
I want people at the jail to know that I'll do the same thing for them.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you can stand up and say that he does that. Yes.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, Becky. It's
Sure.
That's the biggest compliment that you could get is somebody that saw it firsthand and said, you know what, nope, that's not how it happened. It happened. He took care of his people.
He did. You did a fantastic job on that.
Thank you.
So I, you know, and I think it's very important, you know, because if you are, you know, if the person that's in jail, or if you're, you know, if you are a jailer or a dispatcher or anything, the whole group, you know, you're the one the voice going to the bat for everyone.
Right.
And I think that's very important, you know, and I think you take that important. I think you take that.
I take things very serious about
Yeah.
that. I take that job very serious, and it will be a great compliment if the people of Washington County put their trust in me and elect me to run for the Republican candidate for sheriff. I want to lead the people. I want to lead the employees at the jail. I want to be an example for them, and I want them to know that if I tell them to do something and it's wrong, I'll take the hit for that, because I'm going to own what I do wrong. I mean, you know, I got in some issues myself a few years ago, and I owned it. And I did that from the start, and you know what? Nobody could throw any mud on me because of that.
Right.
And I think that's important.
Right. Well, I think, you know, when you live here, you know, it's always, you know, the Bible talks about being a hero in your hometown. It's hard to be, you know. And I think when you live here and you grow up, you know, everybody has seen, you know, the best of everyone.
That's
everyone's
right.
seen the worst of everyone. I mean, we all know, you know what I mean? And, you know, how many times, I went to school with them, you know, I remember, yeah. And, you know, I mean, we all have that, right? When you know,
right.
And which is really a good thing, in the fact of you've watched each other grow, you've seen, you know, our strengths, you know, and everything. So I think it can be a really cool thing. And also, you know, the loyalty. You know, we're here.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And we know, I mean, you know that we're going to see each other, you know, at Walmart, you know what I mean? We're going to see each other there, you know, and we ought to be able to, you know, get out there and be a part, you know.
The people have seen the best of me, and they've seen the worst of me, but the fact of the matter is, I'm still here. I'm still coming back, even though I've probably gotten beat up a little bit. You know what the fact of the matter is? I'm here. I'm going to be here. I'm invested in this community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm the lifelong learner. I'm a leader. I want to be the leader for these people at the jail, and at the sheriff's department, the enforcement division. I think that is a very important job, and I will do my best to be very responsible to the taxpayer. I will be creative with the budgeting to make things last, and you know, we've tipped about $4 million according to what Brad Gilbert has told me. That just blows my mind that we, you know, a new administrator going in, and okay, a new administrator going in can usually find 7 places that you can cut a little bit if you need to. That maybe were built in a little bit.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay. I don't know if you ever heard that.
Yes.
And
7?
About 7,
Mm-hmm.
at least 7 places. And so, you know, I'm going to go in. I'm going to look at what the previous sheriff, the previous administration asked for and was approved for, and I'm going to see what I need to do to make it work for the year.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that before. I've been creative before. I know what I've done. I've sat through those budget hearings. I can do this job, and I can do it better than anybody else out there. You told me one time, toot your own horn, because nobody else will do it, but the fact of the matter is, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. well, no, this is your time to tell. I mean, I think that's it's important, and you feel confident in yourself, then then tell it. What you plan to do. I think
But
that.
make sure that everybody knows that all the voters of Washington County, I want them to know that it is confidence. It's not arrogance.
No, that's exactly right. No, I think that's, I would much rather, I mean, for the Washington County, someone running for Washington County Sheriff to, to tell, you're supposed to tell, what your positives, what your strengths are, what you feel, and why you feel tonight, today is the day, or, actually Tuesday will be the day that you're going to, or you've been in this whole, I guess, for months now, running, but why you put your name in the hat, why you want it, why you feel like you're the best
Well,
person.
one of the best things, another best of Claude Combs, in the 16 years he was sheriff, if there needed to be a death notification or if there needed to be something, he did that. He took that as a leader. He was a leader, and he took care of that. And I want to be that way. I want to be at the taxpayer, at the public's beck and call, as much as I can. Everybody has to have a break sometime,
Sure.
but I will have a chief deputy that can handle things if I need that break. But the fact of the matter is, I told my wife, I told Nancy, I said, look, I'm a workaholic. Whenever I get this job, you're going to have to tell me it's time to back up a little bit and let's go have dinner or something and chill.
Yeah, no, I think that everybody has to be reminded of that. All of us here, sometimes we'll just be, going so strong in work.
Well,
that
and you're laser focused.
Yeah.
You're a business owner here.
Yeah.
She's the administrator. You're laser focused on your job, and sometimes your family suffers because of that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you have to realize, but it's so valuable. It's so important to take care of yourself, and I always go back to the airplane where, you're supposed to put your mask on first, you have to take care of yourself,
But that's also where when you're making a decision to make a commitment like that, you have that conversation with your family, because it isn't just an individual commitment. It is a family commitment.
True.
There's going to be days, nights, weekends where your husband, your wife, your kids don't see you.
That's right.
Or you may be in the middle of a, camping, and they'll get a call and you're like, oh, I'll see you all when I see you, So it's a family commitment of knowing that this is what's going to happen. And you do have to have balance, and you do have somebody holding you and saying, okay, we need to sit back a little bit. We need to have some fun time, So you have to have that balance too, But
when I told my mom that I was going to run for sheriff, she said, "Oh, son."
I love that. I love her. That's awesome. I love that.
But she has been so supportive. Her and my dad both have been so supportive.
They have,
and
they always have been. They always have
been.
You've been very blessed.
They've been at my ball games, anything that I did over the years, and so I just want the voters of Washington County to know that I'm committed. I'm here. I'm invested in this community, and I'm going to make a difference at that sheriff's department.
All right, we're getting close on time. Chris, let's talk about the ballot. You're written, is it Christopher Chris, or how is it?
Chris Strange.
Chris Strange.
Yes, and I don't know, but I'll probably be about the last one down, so I think you can probably go to the last one and just mark it off there.
So you'll be on the Republican ballot.
I'm on the Republican ballot, yes.
Republican ballot, and you are running for, tell us everything. What will we see on the ballot in Washington County?
That would be Chris Strange for the Washington County Sheriff. And it's the primary, May 5th, and we will be looking to find a candidate to run in the fall.
Okay.
I understand that one of the candidates that got excommunicated or whatever from the Republican ticket may be running on the independent ticket now. So I'm not sure. I was told that last night.
We'll see. That's the way the primary, and also if and the other party has an opportunity, if they don't have somebody running for that, they have that opportunity before the general to elect someone, or to bring a representative forward to run against. So it's just kind of going over the rules of how things work.
Right.
But the first hurdle is to get the Republican nominee or position, and so where will you be Tuesday? I guess out and about.
Yeah, I've got workers that are going to be at some of the polls. The Washington Township and the Salem Armory. I'll probably be floating back and forth between there, trying to make some of the. It's really. There's 21 precincts, I believe, and so it's tough to be everywhere.
Absolutely.
So I've got some good people that are going to be around helping with me, and I just want to say to all my helpers, all my family, all my friends that are supporting me, I just want to say thank you. No matter what happens, it's been a great race, and I'm looking forward to being the nominee for the Washington County Sheriff Tuesday night.
All right, wonderful. Well, and then again, election, starts at 6 a.m. Tuesday morning, up and early, and then polls will close at 6 p.m. You got to give them a little time to get their precincts, and get the precincts, each precinct in. Brad and I will be at the Justice Center. We'll be there getting ready for a broadcast, and it's going to be a big night. It's going to be probably a long night, I predict.
I think
it's going to be a little bit longer.
Yeah,
I think so.
Just because there's so many candidates on the ballot and stuff this time.
Yeah. Well, Chris Strange, for Washington County Sheriff, this is a paid political program. I want to thank you for coming in this morning and letting us find out all about Chris.
Well, I've enjoyed being here, and I've enjoyed the 3 sessions that I've had. And once you put that out later today, I'm going to put that on my Facebook account. So if somebody missed this today, they can hear it and hear the whole thing.
Love that. Awesome. Holly Thompson, keep up the great work over at Salem Crossing.
Thank you.
I know spring is in the air, and I know you guys outside is beautiful, and I know I'm sure
we're going to start celebrating our nurses next week. We're going to do Nurses Week next week, and then roll right into Nursing Home Week. So, got lots of things planned for our wonderful nurses that we appreciate every day.
It's party time.
Time
to celebrate. Celebrate good times, right? All right, let's thank our sponsors this morning.
We'd like to thank Mediview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Per Lee Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, Springer & Springer Insurance, Schneck Hospital, Temple & Temple, and West Beresford Conventioner. Thanks for our great sponsors.
All right. Have a great day.
Louisville's longest-running pro sports team is back. Come check out Louisville Bats Baseball at Louisville Slugger Field. Family-friendly entertainment at budget-friendly prices inside the best minor league ballpark in America. See the Cincinnati Reds of tomorrow up close and personal today. And the Bats promotional schedule is something for everyone. For a full look at the 2026 schedule and to plan your day at the ballpark, talk to a real person at 502-212-BATS or head to batsbaseball.com.
Give Du Bois County Tire a call. Big or small, they service all. They have the name brand tires, to keep you cruising on down the road. They got tires for driving mean. They even got them for your farm machine. You can call them day or night. Du Bois County Tire does it right. Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Now through March 31st, get up to $180 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Get $80 when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires. Get an additional $100 when you make an eligible tire purchase with your CFNA credit card. Available at Washington County Tire Shop in Salem. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See BridgestoneRewards.com for details.
Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Bourbon and Beyond is back. The world's largest music, spirits, and culinary experience returns to the heart of Louisville, Kentucky, featuring Foo Fighters, Mumford & Sons. Chris Stapleton. Dave Matthews Band. Queens of the Stone Age. Casey Musgraves, plus Red Clay Strays, Hootie and the Blowfish, The War on Drugs, Foster the People, Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit, Counting Crows, Jesse Wells, Jesse Murph, Goose, and so many more. Bourbon and Beyond returns to Kentucky Expo Center September 24th through 27th with access to the thrills of Kentucky Kingdom Theme Park. Don't miss the best 4 days of the year, blending world-class music, food, bourbon, and more. Passes are on sale now.
Voice of reason in an unreasonable world. The Rick Burgess Show.
Thank you very much, America. Text Nation a minute ago, somebody said, hey, are we ever going to hear any Mr. Lucky samples? Well, you hear one just about every day. That's Mr. Lucky playing right there. That is from one of the originals, one of our intros. Speedy, Greg, and Adler all here for another hour. Box seats are filling up. Got some caught in traffic, but the ones that got through it, they're in here ready to go. Yep, that's Ryan Greenwood right there wailing on guitar for you. All right, so as we start this hour, we will get into, a little later, meeting the box seats in a Burgess Ball battle coming up. By the way, I just got a text back from Gerald Cates, since and he'll be part of the tour coming this fall too. But he says, he said, "Hey, I tell you one thing, I'm a little bit homesick. I wish I could come." Said, "I actually have to work, Greg." He's protecting, serving and protecting. Hate I'll miss it. Oh. He said, "But don't worry, Chris is coming. That's where he goes to church. I knew that." Oh yeah. And he says, "Go ahead and plan for Beulah Land, but just let Greg sing it in his little old voice because it's angelic."
I can hear him say that.
Go and let Greg Burgess sing because his little voice is angelic.
I bet we'll get something from Chris.
I bet Chris will be singing. So anyway, looking forward to that. Yeah, I may go ahead. Go early. Go by and check out Chihuahua 1 out.
I love bothering those people that live there.
No, I won't.
I love hearing those stories.
Yeah. So anyway,
I've only seen pictures. Y'all have never taken me down the street.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah.
We do that.
Neighborhood looks pretty good.
Well, I tell you what's cool, and we have it at Camp House right now. My daughter-in-law found someone who was an artist, and actually she got a picture of where we grew up and had the artist draw it for me, and we have it framed down at Camp House. Yeah, the house Greg and I grew up in. How about that?
I remember we talked about this. This probably been a month or two ago about the woods behind the house. Y'all thought it was so big, and it wasn't. Yeah. And anytime I go back home, you think things were bigger. Like my dad's parents had Mama and Papa, is what we called them. Yeah. We played football in the front yard, and it was the best football field ever. I bet you it wasn't as big as this studio.
I know. When you're a kid.
So what is the deal with that?
I thought we were out in the wilderness, never be seen again.
I thought we went off in some jungle.
We've made it all the way through the swamp to the creek. There's no telling where we are.
Yeah. We may not get
Go back now and you can see right through it. Right, yeah. It's right there. Not far from the dog pen. So anyway, that was good. Get to do that. I might go on at the 188 and check out the 075 table.
Yeah, do that.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Kind of sit there, maybe meet a few folks. So anyway, we'll.
I must not know who I am.
Right? No.
I'm that guy right there.
Ease my way.
Traffic in there.
Yeah. Now that place, it's wild. It's so wild over there.
Get off of that exit. 188. You gotta be serious about it.
See, the 188, Greg and I have no memories of it at all because the 188 didn't exist. And as I told you before, it was nothing but wilderness and hunting land.
And it wasn't even an exit.
And one kind of scary, twisty road with a scary bridge in.
Yeah. You can't be distracted on that exit. And I think I saw the worst distracted driving I've seen in a long time.
Wow, that's
I was in a turning.
Saying a lot.
Terry and I were in a turning lane yesterday at a pretty serious, four-way stop, big intersection.
Oh, good. It wasn't a roundabout.
And we're going.
I went through one yesterday.
Hey, and we're going. We get halfway through the intersection, and the car in front of me just kind of stops. Nobody in front of them. And now it just turned yellow, and I'm like, now we're in the middle. What are you doing? So
Stopped in the middle.
So I went, meh, and I look, and in the side, I can see the reflection through the side. She stopped to text. She was texting.
Well, she's trying to be safe.
She stopped to
stopping
like,
in the middle of the intersection
what
to be sure
are you
to
doing?
safely text.
What are you doing? And so we were turning left, of course. And so when we go, the guy that was in the lane to kind of get through the intersection, he looked, he was like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Y'all, she stopped to text in the middle of the intersection.
That's unbelievable. I had a guy yesterday in a crowded part where you merge getting off, you got 2 lanes that are leaving. Well, when I say he's on a bicycle, don't picture a bicycle guy with his bike. This was like some good one who's matted up head and his beard. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't a bike, and he's in the middle like he's a vehicle. People nearly run over him.
What is he doing?
He's pointing at them and all this stuff.
Okay, so we got.
I said, you're not a vehicle. Get out of the way.
Right.
Hey, bikes have a right to the road too.
No, and like I said, this wasn't. Don't picture. This was like Roy. Like Roy had been down there cashing bottles in. Right.
Y'all,
this wasn't Tour de France. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, that is funny. I was taking the kids home 2 days ago, getting off of a pretty busy highway right here, and there was a car in the turning lane to get off. A dude in a truck just stopped. I'm like, what's going on? What's he doing? And then he opens his door. He like looks at me, and there's people stacking up behind me because we're trying to exit the highway. And I'm like, what is he doing? And then he starts backing up, and I'm like, I guess his car only works in reverse or something or whatever.
Hey, don't make fun of people like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but then I figure out he's trying to get out of the way.
Right.
But then I see his leg is actually on the ground. So
that's what's pushing.
He's actually
in the water.
Yes, he's pushing himself back.
Way to get out and help him.
So that's what I did. I go around him. So I'm free and clear. My problems are over. But I'm a man and a hero.
A hero.
And so I
You're
get
a man
out
in a van.
And I don't know why I said this, but I said to the kids, "Stay in the van." They can't unbuckle their. They can't even unbuckle. Well, Ruby can unbuckle. Ezra can't unbuckle. Why did I tell him this? Stay in the van. I'm a hero. Slam. I slam the door.
Nobody move.
I get to the dude's car, and so now we're pushing it. And
Big man coming.
I'm the only one in front of the car pushing it with ease.
I wish I'd have drove by.
So I look like a
wish
hero.
I could have seen that.
I look like a hero.
I push the guy out of the way. He backs up, gets off the road. He's out of the way. Now everybody can come on through. He's like, "Thanks, brother." And I don't know why I said this.
Oh, this is great. Okay, I live for these awkward Adler moments.
I almost said, okay, Jobin, yeah. I'm running away, and I go, sure thing, man, have a good day.
Not doing too well.
His car's broken down.
He's not having
Why am I telling him he's having a bad day?
No, it's not a good day.
He's not going to have a good day.
Did you catch
yourself? I said, have a good day, bro, man.
Let's poll the room. How about somebody, hope it's not broke too bad? Let's poll the room. Would you have got out and helped?
Me?
Yeah.
That one? No.
I'm just asking. And we're going to ask everybody. I know you would.
Yeah.
Well,
I would have.
I'm usually on my way to do something that people need.
You're needed.
So I can't. I would have to think which need is greater.
Okay.
You're Al Gore in a private jet is what you are.
Right. And I'm thinking to myself, they need me somewhere else. And this person looks like they'll eventually get that car out of the way.
Yeah.
It's not like he's not going to make it.
Yeah.
Okay, he's
not
bleeding.
Upside down on fire.
He's not hurt. He doesn't need medical care.
Yeah.
He simply needs a push.
Yeah.
Now, all I can think of when Adler got out of the van and he thinks, oh, good.
Some kid with a beard trying to help.
This bearded lady's going to try to push my car.
Yeah, he said, here's some help. I don't know.
I would say
sure.
I probably do not stop.
Well, you might hurt your should or your hip.
Because I have to go help
if
others.
I'm doing like this when I come by.
You got your hand. Would you stop?
Would I stop? Depends on where it was, I guess.
Well, just same scenario.
We're heroes.
If it was a stray dog and Lisa was with you, I know the answer. But what about this?
Yeah, I would pretend that I didn't see it.
Okay.
But you had to go around it.
Yeah, but I wasn't looking.
Have a good day.
You weren't looking.
And I don't want to danger the guy either. I'm trying to get people away from him.
Yeah, I look and I say, hey, he's good.
Speedy not only stops, he gives him mouth to mouth because he just wants to make sure.
Yeah, just in case.
Okay, right.
Speedy tries to fix his van, his car.
Speedy's doing heart compressions, and the guy's like, I'm just out of gas.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Right.
You got me doing it.
Yeah. Y'all don't laugh at that. Yeah. Look, just help me get it on track.
Hey, buddy, I just need a push. Let me go.
Push it real good. Oh. Whenever you say push, you're right.
You gotta say that.
I'm proud of you for being a good Samaritan.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's way to help your fellow man.
I said, my name's Speedy from the Rick Burgess Show.
Yep.
Have a good day.
I'm Speedy. I'm the real Speedy.
You may have heard of me. You're right.
His car's broken down. I told him have a good
What
day.
you did
He's already
might have
having a
helped that
bad
guy
day.
more
Yeah,
than
good day's off the table.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I might call the highway patrol.
This is the Rick Burgess Show.
We love the Helix mattresses, and we're proud to be partnered with them. And there's a spring savings event that's going on site-wide right now at helixsleep.com/bigvox with 20% off site-wide. Hey, you need a Helix mattress customized just for you, designed for specific sleep positions and comfort, and they let you try it for 120 nights risk-free. Take the 2-minute Helix sleep quiz and get matched with the perfect mattress. Head to helixsleep.com/bigvox and save 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. Most deodorants just mask body odor with fragrance. Nobody's fixing the actual problem. That is until Mando. Mando uses mandelic acid to neutralize odor-causing bacteria at the source before there's anything to mask. It's proven to block odor all day, controlling it up to 72 hours. Apply once and you're done. No reapplying midday, no backup plan. Don't mask it, Mando it. Right now, new customers can get 20% off site-wide with the code BIGVOX at shopmando.com.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease. Control is everything to me. Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
You know that Chick-fil-A sells more than chicken, right? Hello, my name is Jaleesa, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is how it's all of my favorite breakfast items in one good bite. That fluffy egg, that melty cheese with that perfectly grilled sausage, it just gives you that warmth, that comfort food that you love. It is the best possible option for a classic breakfast.
Comfort is calling. Order a Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit with Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Hey, John, why so glum? I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The mega sale's going on now at mypillow.com/bigvox. Classic My Pillows normally around $50. They're yours for $14.98. The 6-piece My Towel sets normally go for $70. Now they're $34.98 in a huge assortment of colors. The best sheets you'll ever sleep on. My Pillow's Giza Dream bed sheets typically retail for around $110. Right now $29.98. Head to mypillow.com/bigvox. Use that code for employee pricing and free shipping as part of their mega sale. With Mother's Day coming up, it's a great time to find a gift that actually fits into your mom's everyday life. Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic, packed with upgrades. They've got active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity so you can pair with 2 devices at once, and a super comfortable ergonomic design that stays put. Celebrate the moms in your life. Just go to buyraycon.com/bigvox and get 15% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic. Buyraycon.com/bigvox for 15% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic.
When was the last time your mom had a fun night out? This Mother's Day, send your mom to the Are You Ready Tour. Get her tickets now at rickburgesshow.com.
All right, we're back. The rest of the box seats have arrived, so everybody's here now. Traffic, I'm telling you. That's, one of those things, you wait for it, and you think, here's the test.